It's Wednesday, the middle of the week, and a good time to preview and look ahead of the actions on the field. And we do that always on Wednesday at 3:15 p.m. on the Liberia Soccer Show for 30 minutes. It's a pleasant good afternoon from the sports desk at the Liberia Broadcasting System. The Soccer Show is the platform that discusses and places emphasis on Liberian football, talking about the players, the coaches, referees, the fans, and the football administration in general. Welcome to the program. My name is Koluba Azize. I'm here with Michael Weah, and this afternoon we are looking at Liberia's preparations for the Women's Under-17 FIFA World Cup qualifier against Nigeria and the senior national football team, the Lone Star. The LFA president, Mustafa Raji, seems unhappy, as is the Lone Star coach, Mario Marinica, who has not collected salary for months. The squad traveling to Sao Tome and Principe and Namibia have been released by the coach. However, who's in and who's out? We will look at the lays. For our discussion, we'll have Antonio Kokwe from the FA Communication Department on the show to talk about the recent Congress and the preparations by the Women's Under-17 and the senior national football team. Just a moment, and we are back with you on the show to run you with the Soccer Show. Welcome to the Soccer Show. Well, let's join Michael Weah, who will give us from the files.
A non-sportive organization under the banner OCM movement has identified with the Women's Under-17 national team as they continue preparation for next month's double fixture against Nigeria. The OCM movement on Tuesday presented 200,000 Liberian dollars and 25 bags of rice to the Under-17 team. The group becomes the first to identify with the team following calls by LFA President Mustafa Raji to individuals and organizations to come to the aid of the national team. The cash and food were presented to the LFA by an executive member of the group, Tony Gibson. Let's hear from Tony.
We have a quote which says the best is yet to come if we strive to make Liberia great again. The potential and the ability, the capacity of those girls. How you did it, I can't determine. But from the basic question I asked here today from your competition guy and your third vice president, I was told that you spent time in development. And if that was the reason for getting the results you're producing on the international scene, I'd like to say congratulations. On behalf of Dr. Twer, he takes serious interest in what you're doing at FIFA. If whatever we brought here today is used to take the team to the level that Liberia would like to see, he will be prepared to always join you in helping to make Liberia great again.
He is Tony Gibson, an executive of the OCM movement. Receiving the items, the president of the Liberia Football Association, Mustafa Raji, extolled the group for the gesture.
I would like to extend my thanks and appreciation to the OCM movement. Like you stated, we hope that many other companies do the same. Follow the examples, OCM movement. Thanks to Dr. Twer, convey our messages, appreciation to him and his family for looking towards our girls, our sisters, our mothers, the future of Liberia and the future of the women's football that you could come and identify with us. We can assure you that the funds provided will be utilized for the right purpose, and the food
is Mustafa Raji of the Liberia Football Association. At the same time, our Liberian businessman Benina Yuri has donated 1,000 United States dollars to the Under 17 female team as they prepare for the upcoming FIFA Under 17 World Cup qualifiers next month against Nigeria. The donation was made earlier today at the George Weah Technical Center in Capersburg, where the team is currently camping. At the same time, the president of Shakhtar Injos Beneta Ure has pledged an additional 1,000 United States dollars as a winning bonus for the first leg match scheduled for June 9th at the SKD Sports Complex. In more women news, the Liberia Football Association is appealing for financial support to the Under 17 female team of Liberia. Reports say the team is barely surviving on the meager cash contributed by the World Football Governing Body, FIFA. And those were all the stories from our side.
It's a far in favor of Paulina. Liberia wins the far in a promising position. So the kick will be taken by Agatha Nimle. She kicks it into the net. Agatha Nimle. Beautiful. Rest of strike. Beating the goalkeeper of Guinea. Liberia has got the goal number 1. Agatha Nimle. 9 minutes. Indeed, the soccer show here on ELBC Radio, and we are here every Wednesday to talk about Liberian football, and we are at a very critical juncture. Marco, you want to agree, especially with Crass coming in for the lack of money at a critical juncture.
Well, you can see it as many times as you can. For me, that's who we are.
Wow. And Anthony Kokwe is here as well. Anthony, welcome.
Good afternoon.
All right. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Koba. Good afternoon to Michael and the listening audience out there. As always, it's a pleasure to be here to discuss issues relating to football from the Football House. That's the Liberia Football Association. Thank you once again.
Okay.
Well, the Congress, I mean, I want to say it was a little bit hard, you know. People were fighting for this budget to be passed. Others say no. We had a budget coming into effect, being passed by the Congress delegates. Where are we now?
Well, like you put it, the budget was passed by Congress as it should be, because Congress should approve the budget before moving on to the next fiscal year, and before the extraordinary Congress, clubs under the umbrella concerned clubs wrote a communication to the Football Association seeking an increase in their subvention, specifically talking about 4,000 to each clubs. And when that communication reached the Football Association, and as always, before this Congress, the president always have engagements with the football clubs from football divisions, including the first, second, women's division. So an engagement was held with these clubs at the headquarters of the Football Association to discuss specifically the budget. And the president was very clear, asking the clubs, I mean, we look through the budget and see, I mean, you can see that there is no way we can be able to take money from to add it on club subventions. While the student we understand that clubs are struggling and they do need additional financial support, like the same way we as member associations, FIFA think about us, CAF think about us, and add our subvention up. I mean, we do think the same for our clubs, but at this point, there is no way that we can be able to source money from. The only way we can do that is to be able to work together to see whether there are other places we can be able to source funding from to add it on what currently the clubs are receiving. So after the engagement, and he scratched specifically on the part of the budget that has 300,000 that should be given by government as subsidy to clubs, because government also has a responsibility when it comes to football development.
Is it NFA crafting that?
Yeah, it's within the budget.
Asking the government for 300,000.
Yeah, to clubs.
To clubs.
Subsidy to clubs, because government also form part of the development of football. And when you talk about football development, it's not just the national teams. These players that play for the national team come from the rural clubs, whether third division, fourth division, or second division. So once you empower the clubs, whether government or private sector, you will be able to develop those players within those clubs, and then at the same time use those same players to make up the national team. So he said that was the new place that the club should place more focus. And after the deliberation, during the engagement, other clubs had concern, specifically having 11 talked about after the president got through with deliberation and said, I mean, for me today, I've understood a lot about how the FA runs and how it depends solely on those funding that come from FIFA, but perhaps there are many out there who don't know how these fundings come in and how it is used and how you even receive it. So there is need for us to do more when it comes to informing the public and also inform those that play the role in government to be able to ensure that we get this funding.
And then where I want us to go a bit, there is this general notion by people sitting outside that FIFA is pumping in money. So that money should just be used for the loan staff, for football clubs. Let's talk a bit about this money that comes from FIFA. Sometimes we tell people it comes for a specific purpose, but they will say no, the money, the LFA eating the money.
Well, thank you, Koba. That has to do with the FIFA Forward program. We first started with 1.0, went to 2.0, and now we are on the 2.0. And FIFA President Gianni Infantino, when he took over at that time, member associations were receiving $250,000 unconditionally. So when he came in, he increased that to 1.5 million. So within that 1.5 million, use it, and specifically FIFA use a tier member association to use that funding for operations of running your league, ensuring that your employees are paid and well paid on time. And because it's not just like people complain that whenever the FA is having program, it's just Monserrato. So it's not just about having those events or competition within Monserrato. You also have to decentralize those activities. So it is within those operation funds that the FA has to be able to run all of those things. And as well, 3 million is given for a period of 4 years. So within that 4 years, FIFA said you should be able to come out the Football Association along with its executive committee, after the executive committee has crafted all of those projects that they want to be able to work within, submit it to Congress approve it, and then you forward it to FIFA approves it, and then once you are ready for any of those projects, you have to make requests to FIFA for this funding before it can be released. So it's not like because 3 million is given to member association for the period of 4 years for projects, specific projects, meaning that 3 million is already within the LFA account. No, that funding is not there. So within the 3 million, the LFA through its executive committee went, and then there's some crafting when it comes to how to utilize the 3 million within the period of 4 years from 2022 to 2026. So you have the talent development scheme that is currently ongoing. It started 2 years ago. So you have 100,000 allocated to the FIFA Talent Development Scheme program for the period of 4 years. And then we have support the women football teams, national team A, that's the senior women's national team. You have 200,000. You have support the men's youth team, the U15, the U17, and the U20. That's 400,000. And then capacity building for staffs of the LFA, talking about referees, coaches, other capacity building programs. You have 250,000.
The FIFA money, you have portion there supporting the youth teams.
Yeah.
The youth national teams.
Yeah.
Right?
Within that 3 million for projects. So it was a executive committee.
Is a FIFA money. And FIFA say it should be used that way.
Yeah, for the 3 million, FIFA say you come up with the projects that you want to use this 3 million for.
Okay.
Because you can't just say FIFA, the 3 million, we want 1 million next week Friday. You have to tell them what purpose you are using the 1 million for. And after using those funds, you have to make reports, and then they will come and audit as well. So the executive committee told us that the fact that we're not getting support from the private sector, from government when it comes to these youth national teams and the female national teams, we can use all of these funding on projects or infrastructure projects. So it's better we use some of them on these games or competition that the kids will have to go and play in. So that's how those funds were allocated to the Royal youth teams, including the women's senior national team. And you also have technical equipment support to clubs, and the clubs were also factored in as well, because where the FA go and get all of this equipment is not just for the national teams. Also, those equipment are used and distributed on clubs from the first division level down to the grassroots level, because we saw a recent where the LFA was able to distribute clubs to over materials or equipment to over 300 clubs, ranging from the first division to grassroots, even though the grassroots level they didn't benefit enough. But
so Tony, let me tell you, all this come from the FIFA.
Yeah, let me hold it there. All of these explanations that you are giving, this is not the first time for the FA officials to come on the national platform and continue to explain to the public. Do you think the football stakeholders, people who own clubs, are really getting this information, or you think they just want to drag the LFA into the mud?
Well, some are getting it, some are not. even though it has been explained on countless occasions, they have called clubs to discuss this FIFA Forward 3.0 to explain to clubs how exactly this works. But there are others who will be able to learn from it, and there are others who are still just don't believe what the FA says to them as to how these funds supposed to be utilized. So as far as concerned, the fund is there, the money is there, the money is coming. So in fact, when that money comes, it just has to go to the club, and that's not how it works. And the president is very emphatic on that, and that's something he just can't bend on, regardless of what clubs are saying. He will continue to engage with them. But once it comes to using these funds, especially when the executive committee have already agreed that this funding is going to be used for the U15, this one is going to be used for the construction of mini stadium in this county or in this place. I mean, you can't take that funding and then, because the clubs are crying on you, you say, okay, I listen to you guys cry, I'm going to take this money that we initially projected, perhaps allocated for the construction of at the future turf, and then distributed to clubs. I mean, that's something that's very strong that it's not going to work.
I mean, FIFA will get angry with
that. Even FIFA will allow that, so he's not going to, because of clubs are crying about that, and then go on to make the decision that at the end of the day, FIFA is going to come back hard on you as an individual, because you're going to bear the penalties for it.
So you think was it wrong or was it proper for Mr. Raji to have come out publicly to say, hey, gentlemen, guys, FIFA is giving Liberia Football Association $3 million for 4 years? Do you think he should have just kept his mouth shut?
No, I mean,
not to allow the stakeholders to know what FIFA is doing, because here where you are, the clubs are saying they should get the money.
I mean, this is something that they
should get the money, because they are clubs. They have their teams, you know, to operate. Mm-hmm. So whether FIFA gives money for the construction of pitches for under 17 team to play, they don't care. They want the money.
Yeah.
So I think Raji should get kept his mouth shut. Sorry to say that way, but and just operate.
No, that's
then no one knows whether FIFA is getting money.
He spoke against Crumble when he wasn't president, because it's all about transparency and accountability, and that's something FIFA strongly believes in as well. So you can't be every president where FIFA is supporting you to the FIFA Forward program, and then you just have the document. The document is not even something that can be hidden from anyone, because it's available on FIFA website. The same way they send to member association, that the same way is available. So you read through the documents. What exactly is spelled out within those documents is exactly what the football association is going by. So, I mean, as always, in challenges stakeholders to say, if we think the funding that FIFA is sending, we are not using it the right way, or we have been misappropriating it, mismanaging it, I mean, you have all right to file in a complaint with all of the evidence to FIFA, and then they will be able to come and launch an investigation, because it doesn't mean that because you are president, FIFA working with you, so many stakeholders don't have the right to complain about how they feel the money is being utilized. So, I mean, it's all about being transparent. So the FA has, over the years since Raji took over, make sure that every money that comes from FIFA or CAF, I mean, is disclosed to the stakeholders, and how it is being used is also disclosed to the budget, to the financial proposed that is done annually.
Before Koluba comes in, I was at a Congress, and Mr. Raji made it clear that we need the Liberia FA will be short of 150,000 United States dollars, because, you know, we were unable to have had other programs, you know, undertaken by the LFA. Is it disappointing?
Yeah, it's very disappointing. And like he said in the Congress, it is from how the FA uses this funding from FIFA to save some. It is from that saving that clubs are benefiting today. Saving in a way that before you get 50,000 from the conditional operational funds, you must be able to play 4 international matches at all levels in all categories: U15, U17, U20, and the senior national team, both male and female. So, and we don't have other sources of funding to help the football association to be able to ensure that those girls, those boys, or those teams go out to play those international matches to be able to benefit the 50,000. And moreover, you can be doing a project to get 50,000 from FIFA, and then you spend more than 50, 60, 70, 80,000. You will be losing. So that's why every time you have Liberia going to Sierra Leone to go play, or perhaps Sierra Leone coming here to play those 4 international matches in order to get the 50,000 from FIFA. So you realize that with that, we spend at least 20 to 30,000, where you'll be able to get a 50,000 from FIFA, and then the saving that you have, we use that to distribute the clubs 6,000 each at various levels. And Yes.
Is that what the LFA goes through?
Yeah, that's what the LFA goes through to be able to get those savings for clubs to benefit. But unfortunately, this time around, under the operational cost, you have to meet 10 criteria, and the 11th one has 10 additional criteria, and that one has 100,000 attached to it.
Wow.
You have 11 criteria, but the 11th criteria has 10 additional. It's almost like having from A all the way down, and you have to meet 5 of them before you can be able to benefit 100,000. And that is you should be able to run a U15, U17 league for girls in your country. And which, of course, we didn't do in 2023, so that funding we won't be able to get it in 2024.
There you go.
And it's,
There are
and
other
it's
programs.
costly.
There are other programs
problem.
also 150,000 is what we're going to miss out on. Over the past time, we have been missing out on some of those criteria, but getting to the president through his influence, through his the power, goes to these congress and meetings with the FIFA development people and tell them that, hey, I mean, in Liberia, we went through this, but we were not able to play U15 league. We're not able to organize U17 women's league. And you know, our country, we are struggling, so we are just appealing to you guys to pardon us and give us this money in next cycle. They agree with him. They've been doing it for a couple of years, but this time around they say no. I mean, you are like other member associations as well who have come and raised the same complaint, the same issue, and we have been helping you throughout. But this time around, we're not going to do it. However, the money is still there until 2026. So you now have to organize the U17 Women's League in 2024 or 2025 in order to get that money in 2026. So we're not going to get that.
So the money coming to Liberia is not just for let's chug it to the clubs.
No.
So the club have to own
It is based on projects.
And also the politicians.
programs.
There are some politicians who have this notion that the money coming supposed to
The money too much. So they say. Sorry, folks.
for Liberia.
That's what they say.
So the senior national team is not part of this money business.
No, because all along, the senior national team, all the national teams are properties of government, and the government has been supporting the senior national team when it comes to accommodation and traveling costs. Even though, like the president said in the post-Congress meeting, that some of these fundings come days after, not days, but weeks after
Weeks,
the game,
months
after the game, or sometimes just a day to the game before the team can travel. Those funding comes, and so when you in the instances where the funding doesn't come before the team travel, the LFA will have to go and credit from businesses, from people in order for the team to travel. Like the president said during the post-Congress conference that we are still indebted to the airlines and the hotel that the team stayed in Morocco during the last game against Djibouti.
Imagine.
So,
We outside people.
imagine we're owing people outside the country. So once that funding comes, we'll be able to repay those people that we are indebted to. So that's how it happens sometimes, and that's why the president always stressed, and even at the level of CAF and FIFA, that clubs are businesses owned by individuals. Yes, in Liberia, most of them are owned by single individuals.
Yeah.
But we ourselves we have a bigger responsibility to be able to market our clubs, to be able to draw fans to our games. That is by playing good football. Whenever people go to watch the team play, I mean, it encourages the president or encourage them to come back the next time to watch the team play.
Yeah, sure.
Rather than just depending solely on the money that comes from the LFA.
That is what most of the clubs will normally do. Sorry to cut you off. Most of the clubs will have to rely on what comes from out of the LFA to run their clubs.
Yeah. Which is wrong.
Which is wrong, because on many instances, the gate intake about 55%.
But how much is that gate intake here?
So that's what the clubs themselves.
Do you have a jam-packed ATS? Like perhaps let us assume today you have a jam-packed ATS.
You can only have it if the club themselves go out there to market that club to be able to draw the fans.
Of course.
Because people want to go and watch good football.
Yeah.
Other people are less busy during the weekend or free during the weekend. As soon as they're less busy or free during the weekend after work, they want to find somebody to watch good football.
When we used to go to the ATS, when we were boys coming up, Columbia, let me say this for the record. No, listen. When you get at the intersection of Broad and Lynch, and you hear that row, nobody needs to tell you where that noise is coming from.
You know straight.
You know it's from the ATS.
Because
We don't do football.
Because the clubs at the time attracted people to them.
Yes.
But today,
No.
all of them crying, FIFA money, we want it.
Yes, so I mean that makes it that the clubs have greater responsibility to be able to draw the fans, because if you draw more fans to a game, you have a fan base, you have people coming to watch the game. At the end of the day, you'll be able to make more money from the game.
Another thing
from the game intake, you get a better share.
Another thing to touring that the LFA used to do at the time, they have adverts. advertisement were running even to the scoreboard. They had a long playing there with the name St. Joseph Warrior, for example, versus Cedar United. Friday, Saturday, RA Bame. Sunday, Barrow, RA. Today, we don't see it there.
Well, that's something that
You see it there?
working on, and as you can see, even they show that
Publicity is very poor for the LFA when it comes to its own league, its own activities.
even the show that we are sitting on is also part of that plan, because every Wednesday we come here and discuss issues relative to the Liberia Football Association. So obviously, once these leagues are ongoing, you're definitely going to have this show helping to promote the leagues, those fixtures as well. But the LFA cannot do it all alone. The clubs also have a greater role to play, because this is your team, this is your club. I mean, these are players that you want to push. This is something that you dedicate yourself to. So, I mean, the FA main role is to ensure that you have the playing facility, you have the FA along with government to have these stadiums across the country where teams can ride on better road condition, go maiden to go and play again at a better facility. I mean, that's how it looks like in other member associations, other member countries. So the FA is doing its best to ensure that they have all of those things in place. We never had the SKD practice page where we had the Thursday field there where it used to be used for kickball, but now we have at the future turf there, the famous Tuesday field we now have at the future turf. I mean, it's a gradual process. So in the next 4 to 5 years, the alligator fee along the
it's the
VOA.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll have at the future turf other pitches outside of Monrovia.
Stephen Turbo,
So these are the Alpha Field. Those are projects that are still pending. So once those projects are completed, I mean, it's going to add up to the number of facilities that clubs can be able to play those games and also help to draw the fans. But the clubs have a greater role to play in drawing the fans to those games.
So the public, you must understand the FIFA money is not to be distributed around. It's a foul in favor of Paulina. Liberia wins a foul in a promising position. So the kick will be taken by Agatha Nimle. She kicks it into the net. Agatha Nimle. Beautiful. Well, so Agatha is somewhere in the United States. She recently earned a degree.
Yeah.
She recently earned.
You know why I'm laughing?
Why are you laughing?
It's still football.
Yeah. It's true football.
It's still the beautiful game.
Yeah, it's true football.
Yeah.
She was able to go to the States and she obtained a degree.
So went to college.
Yeah.
And
So we
then
say hats off to her. And the women team gearing up. We say hats off to Mark McColl's
cousin Ure. I can call him cousin Ure. Cousin Ure.
Yeah, cousin Ure.
Yeah, cousin Ure. Many now Ure that is.
Also the original countryman. Yeah, but are other people coming around?
Well, it first started with Bon County lawmaker Briggs Mensah,
Briggs Mensah,
who gave $200 United States as an initial contribution. Then yesterday, like you saw during at the LFA headquarters, where OCM Group gave $200,000 along with Becca West. And today we saw Bernard, you were giving $1,000 United States, and his daughter also promising a winning bonus of $1,000 if they win the first leg here in Liberia. So that's something we are still calling on other government officials, other businesses, and individuals to come and help, because it's about winning football. It's about football development in the country. The LFA cannot do it alone. We also need the support of the private sector as well.
Okay. And I just see the time gone so fast. But let me just run through the list of the squad traveling to South Africa. They're not playing South Africa though. Namibia and Sao Tome and Principe are the two teams we are playing. Abdoulaye Kolobari, Teddy Colley, Tommy Songo, Kemo Kamara, Samson Due, Natu Swen, Musa Sisse, Philip Tanu, Nelson Laomi, and if you know the kid for Nimba County, Nelson Laomi, he was in the defense, Sebastian Tickler, Mark Paba, and we have Murphy Dolly, Nohan Kenen, Mohamed Sangari, Abdullah Belete, Usman Barry, Lawrence Kuman from Bombay County, Sekou Sharif, and Chauncey Freeman, Terry Sako, Peter Wilson, Maki Yala, and William Gibson are the guys that will be with the Lone Star. Well, thanks ever so much, Tony, for coming. We hope to be here next Wednesday.
Thank you, Kolba.
And so we go home on the soccer show. Bye-bye. In favor of Paulina, Liberia wins a foul in a promising position. So the kick will be taken by Agatha Nimle. She kicks it into the net. Agatha Nimle. Beautiful.